In today's episode...
And shove them in your front teeth like Bugs Bunny.
Bugs Bunny.
That's awesome!
That is.
Hello and welcome to the workshop. On today's episode, we're going to check out this TTC 450 CNC by Two Trees. So a few weeks ago, I received an email from Banggood asking if I wanted to take a look at this CNC. And I said, sure, why not? Send me one. And then a couple of days later, this massive box turned up. Now when I showed this CNC to my dad, you know what he said to me? He said, I'll put that together for you. He loves doing that kind of stuff. So I'm going to cut to a quick time lapse of him putting it together. Take a look at this unit. Wow, that is way bigger than I thought it would be. My dad did an amazing job of putting this together, and if you guys think so too, let him know by leaving him a message. His nickname's Humphrey. Now before we fire this bad boy up, I need to tell you the two biggest features. The first one is the motor. This is a massive 500 watt motor that can rev to 12,000 RPMs. Now the second feature is the work area. It has a massive 460 by 460 surface area. Now there is a ton more specs on this machine, so if you guys want to have a read through this, I'll leave a link to it in the description. So now that we've had a quick look at this machine, I think it's time we started carving something. That is a lot smoother than I thought it would be. I'm impressed. Look who's joined me. What do you reckon, doll?
That looks so good.
Look how smooth it looks.
The detail's amazing.
Isn't it? I reckon it turned out so good.
It did. Hey, do you reckon that we could mould that?
Mould it with silicone?
Yeah.
And then what, make our own resin flowers?
Yeah.
Wow, that would be cool.
That would be.
I think we should give it a go.
For sure.
I really like this clamping system, where this wasteboard has all these nutserts in it, and they give you a bunch of these clamps. So no matter what piece you use, there's probably going to be a hole that's in the right spot for you. So as well as getting a lot of hold down clamps, you also get a Z probe, a whole heap of milling bits, and a collar to suit. So I guess it's now time to try Nicole's brilliant idea. I'm going to cut out this flower and then we're going to try and make a silicone mold of it. So now that I've got the flour all cut out and cleaned up, it's time to give it a quick spray of clear before we start pouring any silicone. While we're waiting for that clear to dry, I'm going to go ahead and make a mould to go around the flour. Now I'm just going to use this 2mm piece of acrylic and I'm going to cut it with my acrylic cutter. Have you ever used one of these before?
No.
Alright, you're about to learn. So the first thing we need to do is measure the side of the flour, and we need about 3 centimeters. So we mark 3 centimeters. Now, the blade has a bit of a sharp bit on it. So what you want to do is get your ruler and you scribe it. You hear that noise?
Yeah.
So
So it's like scoring a line in it?
Yeah, scoring a line,
Yeah.
exactly right. So you want to do a couple of passes. And then once you've scored the line, you just need to snap it. So you go to the edge of your bench like this and snap.
Oh wow, that's clever.
Just like that. There you have a cool little piece of acrylic. So now we need 4 of those. So do you want to have a go now?
Sure.
Alright, let me just mark it for you. Okay, now it doesn't have to be spot on. So just make sure you keep a heap of pressure down on the ruler and just go for it.
Except I'm right-handed, so
Oh, that's right, you're right-handed.
I have to go this way. So which side of the line?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter?
This isn't crucial.
Okay.
Just wherever's comfortable.
Okay, and then this point here?
Yep, that point, just scribe it down.
Whoa, that was not straight.
You got to keep a slight amount of pressure against the ruler. Oh. Alright, maybe that was enough. Let's try and snap it.
Let's try it.
Hang on, let me fix the camera so you guys can see. Get in focus, right. So heaps, you want to hold heaps of pressure here.
Yep.
Right, and get that line just overhanging the edge. Yep, just over there. There you go.
There you go.
That worked.
That did.
2 more.
2 more?
Do you want to do the
I
other
can
2?
do it, yep. Guess you got to be careful you don't dig in too far too, because then it gets jammed.
Yeah, that should be plenty. Alright, give that a go. Yeah. Now, I think we could actually leave that one. I don't think we need to cut that.
No.
Because the way we make the mould, we're going to overlap each joint. So it looks like our clear is now nice and dry, so what do we need to do next?
So we're going to glue our pieces of acrylic on with some CA glue.
Okay, now the best way to glue these on is to make sure you start your first one flush with the edge here. And then when you put the next one on, you make that one flush with this edge. That way you can just overlap them nice and easy. So that when you're done and you go to put the last one on, it butts up really nice. And then you've got yourself a mould. So now I think the best way to do this is to just put your CA glue on the wood here, and then I'll slap the acrylic on. Just try not.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Look
That
how
came
much.
out fast.
Look how much you just put on. Okay, so you can see the CA on there. Now I'm going to pop my first piece on, flush with the back edge. Now for the last one. Okay, there we have our little mould. So now the next thing we need to do is mix up some silicone. Now we don't need a lot of silicone for this one, so we just need to measure 2 equal parts, and we're going to do it in these little shot glasses.
So before we go putting any silicone in here, we're going to spray some mold release.
So make sure when you're pouring your silicone, you pour from a good height. That way the stream's nice and thin and it'll help release the bubbles. This stuff always reminds me of bubble gum.
Bubble gum, like Hubba Bubba.
Yeah, Hubba Bubba.
Hubba Bubba.
That's the best. What's your next best?
Juicy fruit.
Juicy fruit. What about PK?
No, I wasn't keen on PK.
No?
No.
Did you ever used to get like pieces of PK and shove them in your front teeth like Bugs Bunny?
Bugs Bunny. I'm sure every kid's done that.
Love the bubble gum. What do you think? That's probably about it, I reckon.
Yeah.
We don't want to go too deep. Okay. That looks pretty good.
Yep.
Got no leaks. Now all we have to do is leave this and check on it tomorrow. So it's now the next day and our silicone is nice and hard, so we can take it out of this mold. Now I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's absolutely pouring here. Now hopefully we can just break these pieces of acrylic off here.
Oh, that was easy.
Yeah, look at that. That's real easy.
Yeah, you should be able to reuse those.
Yeah, I think so. Look at that. Kind of looks like a licorice allsort.
It does, doesn't it?
Okay, now the moment of truth. Will this come off nice and easy? Look at that.
Oh, wow, that turned out really good.
That's awesome.
That is.
That was a good idea, doll.
Thanks.
Okay, now it's time to fill this one with resin and see how it looks. So what colour flower do you think we should make? Do you think we should do a red one or a yellow one?
I was thinking colour shift.
A colour shift one. Okay.
Yeah, so we just brush it onto the mould.
And then we pour black, right?
Yep.
Okay, that sounds like a good idea. Let's do that. Now that's a nice one. What's that?
Yes.
Purple, yellow, green.
Yeah.
I like that.
Just got to make sure you get in all your little grooves. Otherwise you'll have black spots.
And that's just one of those makeup brushes, hey?
Yep. Just a little eyeshadow brush. There we go.
That looks cool. Alright, let's mix up some resin. We'll be using art casts for this pour. Now we only need a little bit for this mould, so whatever we have left over, we can use in another project. Now I'm just moving this resin around so that hopefully when we pull it out, we don't have any little air bubbles. Now all we have to do is leave this to cure. So our resin's all nice and hard. It's time to take this out and have a look. Look at that. Well, there we have our colour shifting flower. How cool is that? It shifts from green to purple. And it looks exactly like the original. I think that turned out really good. And there's our 3 stages, the carving, the moulding and the copying. And now I've got a mould, I can make as many of those as I want. Well guys, there you have it. Make any mould you want using a CNC machine. I think it's a brilliant idea. Now if you guys want to try this machine for yourself, I'll leave a link in the description as to where you can find it. Now that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, let me know by leaving a thumbs up. Thanks for watching and I'll catch you next time.